you guys are looking to start your very first business, check out this list of 20 businesses that I ranked from best tier to the lowest tier for anyone that's looking to gain the highest chance of actually succeeding when starting their very first business. So if you don't have a lot of money, maybe $1,000, maybe less, these are great businesses to get into, but some of them are much better than others. And again, as co-founder of Booking Koala, I get to see thousands of businesses worldwide starting such businesses. So I get to see and tell you which ones are the top performing ones and which ones people have the most success in. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with junk removal, which we'll go ahead and rank as a C tier business because it's not reoccurring. Reoccurring businesses are much easier to scale. That's why people have more success in, because you can go ahead and stack clients, and every month reoccurring revenue grows, your business grows, and you can go ahead and start hiring more people to fulfill more jobs. So junk removal becomes C tier because it lacks a lot of that. Mobile dog grooming, S tier. Love this business model because when you have pets, and if you have a pet, you already know that you want to leave them with the people that they like or they love. And some pets really have a hard time adjusting with someone. So if you find a dog groomer that comes to you and takes care of your pet and your pet falls in love with them, you're never going to switch to a different groomer, which means they stick with that same groomer for decades sometimes. And if that's the case, it is super easy to scale that business. People have amazing results, and it is an S tier business. Next, pressure washing. So pressure washing, we're going to rank as a B tier because again, there is reoccurring, but there isn't a significant amount of it. Okay, so if you need pressure washing your deck, maybe that's going to be something that's on schedule twice per year. We want to have more reoccurring if possible, because that makes it easier on the people that are doing the jobs. You schedule so many jobs for a provider that their schedule becomes full and they don't complain about work and things like that, right? So the more reoccurring you can give someone and put on their schedule, it becomes easier to grow because your providers don't complain about lack of work, okay? So you guys can always keep this in mind for the other businesses that we're ranking. So poop scooping, which is pet waste removal, we're going to put this as an A tier business. It is good for two reasons, maybe three actually, that are really good. One, it is route optimized. So you can literally have 4 clients on one block. And if it takes you, let's say 30 minutes to do 4 of them, should even take faster than that, you can literally charge, let's say $20 per service, which would be $80. If a provider gets half of that, that's $40. $40 of 30 minutes of work. That is very good because you can hire more and people will be willing to do that job since they're making a lot of money. So it all comes down to optimizing this business for the best performance. Number 2, you can hire anybody. It doesn't take much of a skill to actually perform poop scooping. So a lot of the times people actually hire high schoolers to do this. So again, very easy to scale. Third point with this one was actually marketing this business. You could literally slap on poop somewhere and people will stop the scroll when they're on social media or whatever and give you their attention. Next one, 5, fence installation, C tier, not enough reoccurring. You need permits, inspections, a lot of things could go wrong. Not the greatest business to start in. 6, laundry pickup and delivery, S tier. It is usually performed and started in metro areas, so like Chicago and New York City, and it's great because you could have branded vehicles, and when you're driving around such a populated area, a lot of eyes are on those vehicles, which is free marketing in a way, right? So you could keep buying those vehicles, give them to providers, things like that, and scale that way, and you won't need much marketing. Very good business from a marketing perspective. Again, a lot of reoccurring because you could literally have laundry service done. A lot of people don't even know how to do laundry or are just too busy. Great service. 7, window cleaning, A tier. Usually when it comes to window cleaning, it's for outdoor window cleaning because if it's indoor, it's going to be packaged with something like home cleaning. But for outdoor, it could be a good business model, especially if you get into commercial and things like that. So this will be an A tier. 8, Christmas light installation. C tier business, people do it on Booking Koala, but it's seasonal. Usually Christmas is the holiday that has the highest demand for such a service. You can do it for like Easter and things like that, but will never be as much of a demand as Christmas. So it becomes a seasonal business. So if you're looking to maximize results with that business, make sure that you understand it's going to be seasonal and winter pretty much only. Number 9, mobile car detailing, A tier business. You can hire a lot of people, a lot of high schoolers again to do this. It is reoccurring, higher ticket. Usually if someone wants to take care of their car, they're going to say, hey, come every 2 months or something like that. I need it washed or detailed. It's good business. A lot of people have success with this one. Number 10, handyman services. C tier, not enough reoccurring, too much custom. Sometimes you'll go there and the job may be smaller than you anticipated. It's just very hard to work the schedule around that. So it's harder to get going because it's much less predictable. Number 11, home cleaning. Home cleaning is definitely S tier. I grew and scaled my home cleaning company to over 15 million before I co-founded Booking Koala, and so many people have amazing success in it's reoccurring. People know they need this service, so they tend to be on schedule every week, every 2, every month. Very good business to grow. Definitely an S tier business. Number 12, deck building, C tier for sure. Again, it is a lot of custom work. A lot of things can go wrong. Inspections, permits required. Not a great beginner business. 13, carpet cleaning, B tier. Not enough reoccurring. Usually when people do this business, they don't do it as standalone. They add this into something like home cleaning. Next one will be lawn care, S tier. If you are in a location that requires the service all year round, if not, because you have winter or something like that, it is not going to be an S tier. And keep this in mind that, a lot of Booking Koala users that start these businesses, they don't live in the same area, right? They might, but at the same time, especially if they start to scale, they'll go into locations where they don't live and they manage this remotely. So you could start a lawn care living in Chicago, like me in Illinois, but the actual service is in Florida where they could cut the grass all year round. That's the plus of starting these businesses, okay? Check out my 10K system if you guys want to learn how to get to your first 10K. So lawn care, great business. 15 is appliance repair. Again, too custom, unpredictable schedule, harder to scale because no reoccurring revenue. 16, gardening service, B tier. You could move this up depending on how you structure it. It could be more reoccurring if you start to sell things properly, but usually requires a lot of custom work and is a little bit more challenging, but it's still a good business when you structure it properly, and we do have people that have success with this one. 17, gutter cleaning, B tier. Very good business because there's demand for it. However, it is not enough reoccurring for my liking. Still, you could have great success with it, and some cities may even have higher demand because if you're in a place where there's a lot of trees, leaves are flying everywhere, it could create more of a reoccurring business. 18, mobile barber salon, S tier, because it is just like mobile dog grooming. If you find a mobile barber, you can stick with them for decades. Like me, same person's been cutting my hair for like 13, 14 years and I'm not looking to change. So it makes it easy to scale. 19, move out cleaning, C tier for sure. Not enough reoccurring. That's why, people that have success usually do this alongside home cleaning. So you'll do home cleaning plus move out cleanings, move in cleanings and all that. So you would combine the two, not just go with move out cleanings. Not enough reoccurring. But again, you could structure this properly if you partner with realtors, contractors, things like that to make it reoccurring. But it makes it so much more challenging because the pool is not as big. Number 20, snowplowing, B tier. Not the biggest fan because it's very hard to predict. You have to sell subscriptions to make it work. Sometimes there is no snow, sometimes there is a lot of snow, and a lot of times what I see people do is they actually sell subscriptions for the entire winter. You hope it averages out because one winter it might not snow and the other one might snow too much, okay? So it is definitely a B type of business. I hope that you guys enjoyed this list. A lot of these businesses are amazing opportunities for new entrepreneurs. So you guys make sure you watch my other videos to help you start these businesses. Check out the 10K system where I'll go ahead and show you how to get to your first 10K in monthly revenue, and it will make your life a lot easier. Good luck.